All right, welcome to episode 9 of On the Run with your editorial team. I'm pretty sure you all can tell instantly from the video. We are at our news desk today. Very exciting.
Pretty fancy.
Yeah. Normally this won't be where we record our On the Run podcasts, but our other video set is still under construction, as it were. So we're still moving. I think this desk turned out very well. Josh and Chelsea and I are very happy with it. So what this will be used for is our weekly news run, which is our news update that we'll do on a weekly basis, as well as our morning show that we're getting ready to launch. So you guys get to see this week, and then hopefully by next week we'll be back to our normal table, which is a little better to talk. Okay. So the next thing I have for you guys today is we are relaunching our website this Friday. What day is that?
I'm gonna look it up. It is the
21st. We are relaunching the web.
21st. My computer's being a little slow.
A little slow. Well, we're relaunching our site. We've got a brand new homepage that's going to more prominently feature the stories we really want you to read, and then as well as the videos that we've been working on. And then underneath that, you'll see a list of the most recent stories that we've published. And of course, we're maintaining our 6 categories at the top, and there'll be buttons to jump into all our specific shows and whatnot. It's going to look similar for those of you who were with us before. The website looks similar. It's been tweaked a little bit, and we ironed out some kinks, and we're with a new provider, so we won't have a downtime like we did recently. We're using it as a time to relaunch the Daily Runner. It's been 3-4 years we've been working to rebrand and rebuild, and we are on the very tail end of that. As soon as the newsroom is reorganized, we will have what we've been working towards, our new Daily Runner. So we're relaunching the website, and we're back and better than ever. And I think that pretty accurately describes what we've been working on. So that will happen Friday, and we're going to do a big ad campaign on campus starting after spring break, which is not this week, but the next week, correct?
Yes.
So we have some exciting things happening. Just be sure to check that out, and yeah, it's kind of exciting.
It is very exciting.
So should we go back to our, my computer just died. I was going to talk about Josh animated a cool introduction for our videos. It's like 2 seconds, but it's very cool. So you'll see that. I really like it. You'll see that on the video today. You've probably already seen it if you're watching this video. That's pretty much all our business. We got some interesting articles to talk about. Olympics are still going on.
Yep.
I don't think we're like, last I checked, we were like 7th.
Whatever, we beat Russia.
Did we beat Russia? Oh, in hockey, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys been watching?
Last night. Was it
And
last
what?
night? For the figure skating?
Figure skating.
Yeah. I didn't watch it. The last thing of the Olympics that I watched was that reporter harassing our skier, Bodie Miller.
Yeah, and
which
he
has been all over the internet.
It was a little crazy.
Yeah. Felt kind of bad for him. She just asked him some questions. And
She just
then
like kept going with
She just
it.
kept
though.
going.
Yeah.
He starts crying, and she asks more questions, and his face is in his hands, and she's asking more questions. Really, lady?
I read something today. He was really nice about it, though,
He was super nice about it.
which I don't know if I would have been as gentle.
Yeah, he was saying to back off her. She's just doing her job. I don't think her job is to continue to harass somebody who's already in tears.
Yeah.
Over the death of his brother. It's not really cool.
It was quite a bit of
I think it's
controversy.
crossing a bit of an ethical line there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good call.
Oops, Josh,
Want
thanks.
to go ahead with your article, Josh?
All right. Well, I was browsing the web today, as I do, and
As I do.
I came across this one article on The Atlantic by Megan McArdle. It's called "Why Writers Are the Worst Procrastinators," and I think it does a really good job of explaining why a lot of writers are really almost faced with just this fear of like diving into their work and actually getting it done. And it explains how a lot of writers, like when they're young, you know, you're in elementary school and you're handing in papers and your teachers are like, wow, this is really good and stuff. And most writers, they start to develop this view that writing is a talent and not really something that needs to be worked at. And as they experience more challenges, they start to think like, oh man, I could really fail with this, and they view it more as like I'll be seen as not good in my writing rather than, you know, being afraid of not having written anything. So I just thought that was really interesting, and it's a pretty lengthy article, but she does a good job of describing, you know, what goes through a writer's mind. She talked to a few psychologists, and yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, because a lot of the times I feel like explaining to people what I do, they just kind of, oh, you're a writer. Like, oh, you're doing something anybody could do. Like, no, it's actually like my career.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like this idea that, you know, anybody can do that, or like it's not really something that requires, you know, hard work and dedication, which is ridiculous, because if you want to be a good writer, all you do is, you know, work on it all the time. So it's interesting.
I like this quote from it. Young people are uncomfortable with the unstructured world of work. No wonder so many elite students go into their industries with clear boundaries like finance and consulting.
That's true.
I've noticed that even here, like if we don't, like our writers require like a topic or a subject. It's taken us a long time to get to them comfortable with like throwing out, I'm interested in this, so can I write about this? And they've gotten better on that, but it was something that we had to like, you know, you can bring us, we don't have to be the ones telling you what stories to write or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting as well.
Well, it's kind of scary too, because, you know, you think about, you know, fields and careers that, you know, don't require you to kind of come up with your own content, your own thing. Like you just go and you sit and you do something for 9 hours that somebody, you know, has given you to do, and that's it. But
yeah, click this, put that here.
right, for some
file
reason
that.
we get scared of the idea of having to, you know, come up with our own ideas, and we kind of equate that to not having stability. Stupid, because you know, a lot of the people who make the most money don't sit at a desk and do
what they've been told to do.
They've been told to do all day long. So,
and I'd imagine
change of perspective.
Yeah, I'd imagine even the people that are happiest don't.
Probably.
You know,
I mean,
it's
some
not.
people maybe,
It's not something I generally think of. They have to be, you know.
And it's just nice, like, to feel, you know, comfortable in a situation. Like, you don't have to really do too much to keep that going. However, at the same time, that makes you pretty replaceable. So.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It was a very interesting
Yeah,
article.
one of the psychologists compares it to like a student who goes to the movies instead of studying the night before on an exam. If he performs poorly, he can attribute his failure to a lack of studying rather than a lack of ability or intelligence. On the other hand, if he does well on the exam, he may conclude that he has exceptional ability because he was able to perform well without studying.
Yeah.
So from a writing standpoint, if you don't write anything, you can attribute that to, you know, oh, well, I just didn't do it, you know, so you can't say, like, I'm a terrible writer, because in your head, I mean, you're the best writer, you know?
That's a really good point.
And then if you do something well, like, without really trying, then you're just like, oh, I'm good at it, rather than thinking that writing is a challenge and a skill that needs to be built, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like I see that a lot. I kind of work out competitively, but I have a lot of people in my gym will just be like, oh, well, I ate bad that day. Oh, well, like, I came in really tired, so it doesn't
Make
really
excuses.
count. Like, you still did it. Like, own it at least. You know,
Yeah.
people like to make excuses for everything instead of looking at themselves and saying, hey, maybe it's me.
Yeah.
So,
Or I can improve this. It's not
Exactly.
even I think I don't remember what it was. I read an article that said a good way to look at failure is not that you failed at something, but rather it's an area for you to improve in.
Sure.
It's just another challenge to meet and
Right.
hit.
Yeah. So I think it's just all about how you are looking at it.
Yeah.
And for writing, treating it like it's something that doesn't need to be worked on is just one of the worst mistakes that you can make about it. 'Cause
Definitely.
it's just like anything else that you would, need to work on to improve.
Yeah. Good article.
Nice, like it.
Okay.
Are we linking? Is that what you said?
Candy Crush. Want to talk about Candy Crush?
Yeah, okay, so Josh was telling me the other day that Candy Crush was filing for, I guess it's called IPO?
Initial public offering.
Okay. So basically, they're trying to trademark the word candy.
Well, that was something else. Now they're filing for. They tried to trademark that. I don't ever know. It's still being processed, but now they're filing for an IPO, which is to make their company public. They're going to trade it on the New York Stock Exchange.
Right, okay. So anyways, that's happening, and there's a lot of debate between people who know about this stuff, which would not include me, about whether or not that's a good idea. But what I found interesting about it was that in response to all this happening, plus the whole thing with the word candy being copyrighted in the form of clothing, games, gambling, etc., this developer of this other game called Candy Swipe wrote this open letter to the developer, which is King.com.
Yeah, that's there.
Saying that he stole his idea, and let's see what it says. Okay, it says King.com, who wants to cancel the registration of the Candy Swipe trademark. Okay, his game is called Candy Swipe, and he claims that it's been on the market for 2 years, longer than Candy Crush has. So he's saying that Candy Crush stole his idea, and it's got like this little infographic at the bottom that shows like the two next to each other, and
Very similar.
it's exactly the same, pretty much.
Yeah.
But he's saying his is from 2010, and this screenshot is from 2012. And he also is saying that he created Candy Swipe in memory of his mother, who passed away from leukemia, which, God, that sounds just so terrible. And if that's true, I would feel really, really bad.
Yeah.
But it's not like the King people knew, oh, he created this for his
Right,
mother.
probably
So we're
not.
gonna rip them off now. Yeah, that's.
But
I have a problem with that. There are, if you go like search just candy in the app stores, you know how many apps come up that are.
sure,
It's
yeah,
such a simple idea if just execution and advertising. Maybe Candy Crush is a better name than what is it? Candy Swipe.
Candy Swipe. Yeah. But he says like the whole concept of the game is exactly the same. Like there's nothing different about it. He
Well,
didn't
I mean,
introduce any
in
new
essence, the Candy Crush is just like Bejeweled, just with candy, right?
ideas. That's true. So you could argue that he took the jewel and
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, here's what he says to King.com. Good for you, you win. I hope you're happy taking the food out of my family's mouth when Candy Swipe clearly existed well before Candy Crush Saga.
See, that's just.
So that's pretty harsh. I don't know how to feel about that one. That's interesting.
Maybe those Candy Crush people aren't as sweet as they seem.
Maybe not. Maybe they're
Maybe
bad guys. I don't
under
know.
the surface, they've just got cavity after cavity.
I'm ignoring you both. That's terrible. But they did file for IPO, and one of the when you file for IPO for your investors, one of the things you have to list is, a perceived weakness of the company. And they did say that one of the weaknesses they think as a public company was that so much of their money comes from Candy Crush. Because they actually have a couple other games, and they're getting ready to release more games, but like a large percentage of their money comes from Candy Crush, and they thought that was a weakness. So it's interesting.
Is Candy Crush free?
The game itself is free, and you can play free, but if you want to so I know because
People do spend money on it.
yes,
Okay.
because it makes your playtime faster, because you can only do so many
I've
things
heard
in a
of people,
day.
like changing their time on their phone
Yeah.
to make the time
Yeah.
progress and like
Yeah, my
saving each other lives. And
The girls in my family play it all the time. They love it.
I don't know if I've ever looked at it for more than 2 seconds,
I've
honestly.
never, yeah.
I don't even know what Candy Crush even does.
You know, Bejeweled?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean,
It's
I know it's similar, but that's about all I know.
Okay.
I don't play it, but I've watched like my family. Like I said, my girls, in my family play it. I've watched it. I could see
You can
pretty.
see why it would
Yeah,
be
it could.
addicting, definitely.
It could be
Not
pretty
as addicting as
addicting.
Flappy Bird, in my personal opinion, but
Well, see,
you
I'm
have a
a
device that's now worth money, right?
yeah,
Because it has Flappy
because it
Bird.
had
True,
Flappy
yeah.
Bird on it.
You gonna auction it? You gonna save it?
I don't-
What's it worth to you, Josh?
I don't know.
I'd auction
I
it
don't know
off.
if I could let it go.
What
If
did?
somebody was gonna pay you $500 for your old iPod that has Flappy Bird.
Then yes, take my iPod. I could use $500.
You go. Then you could get an iPad.
Yes.
What
Could
did?
not be the strange one.
What did the guy who took it down said? It was too addictive
Too
or
addicting.
something.
It was
so he
just like
so he.
So dumb.
I know. Why would
Make
you?
So much money off of it.
They said.
he was.
Yeah,
making, like-
he was making at least. I read at least $53,000 a day off just the advertising.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Right? Why would you ever? I don't know. All right, let's get off Candy Crush. Let's talk about something else entertaining.
The Tonight
The
Show.
Tonight Show. Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh, right.
I was gonna pull it up.
Well, very entertaining.
It was great. I thought I was very impressed. I watched. I'm gonna put it up on my computer here and flip it around so you can see it. It's on Hulu Plus, so it has to go through the whole rigmarole. I was very impressed. I thought it was a great episode. I watched it today in the office. It felt. I'm just gonna say this. It felt great to be able to watch the Tonight Show here in the office and be like, yeah, I'm working.
That's
Because we had animation students come in and I saw a couple of them look in. I'm like, no, I am working. But it was very entertaining. I know you liked the Will Smith
I loved
dance
that
thing.
part. I thought
That was funny.
one of the
I
best
missed it.
parts.
I forgot to watch it completely. I thought to myself, hey, I should watch this.
see.
And I didn't.
Wow.
I don't know what
Really
Hulu's
bad
doing here.
excuse for no watch.
That is a terrible excuse.
Anyway, I'm super partial to Jay Leno, I have to say, but for who Jimmy Fallon is and for what he's probably going to take, where he's going to take
A little
the
younger
Tonight
of an
Show,
audience,
I think
yeah.
that it was good and it kind of showed us like the direction that it's going to head in, which is good. I think that, making it a little edgier and
Yeah.
fun and interactive with the guests instead of maybe more,
Well,
structured.
Leno had
like
been
was
doing it for
before.
22 years.
It's-
So, I mean, there's going to be a new. I think that alone is worth switching up the host just to give it some new life.
The
But
thing is, though, like the people who watched it are expecting a certain
Yeah.
caliber, and I don't know if they're gonna like his kind of SNL style of what he's bringing.
yeah, I think that will be interesting. Does he kind of stay? Because last night was, I mean, it was clearly Jimmy Fallon doing the Tonight
Right.
Show, but it wasn't, the format wasn't like ridiculous as it started. Yeah, it looks like it's frozen. But I mean, the format wasn't ridiculous, and it was very much Tonight Show, just
Right.
Jimmy Fallon. I mean, my favorite bit of the night was he said something along the lines of, "I made a bet with a friend, that he'd never be the Tonight Show host." And then all of a sudden, the first person out was De Niro. It drops him $100 and walks off, and then it was like 3 minutes of a line of a celebrity.
It was everyone.
It was-
like Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
Kim Kardashian.
Tina Fey was there.
I heard about that.
Tracy Morgan. I always say his name wrong now because of 30 Rock. But I mean, and it just for like 3 minutes, celebrities just. And then my favorite was, what's his name? I'm totally blanking on his name right now. Comedy Central's. Oh goodness, isn't that the worst?
Can't help you.
Sorry, don't
Oh.
know.
Do you not?
Colbert.
Colbert, yeah, Stephen
Oh,
Colbert
right.
comes out with. I was thinking what he did, not his name.
That was
He
awesome.
came out with this huge silver bucket and just dumped pennies everywhere on him.
In his shirt.
And then he took a selfie and he was rolling his eyes. It was just really funny, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was very impressed.
The thing that this writer, I don't know, this is from the Chicago Tribune, I was kind of looking it over. He's kind of comparing the last 22 years with Leno and then this whole new thing last night. And he's saying, just kind of like the audience that Leno has built, you know, is people who are interested in like making fun of celebrities, making fun of like
Definitely.
politics and what's in the news and stuff like that. And he thinks that Fallon's a little bit different. He's more into like pop culture, and he's more interested in like, you know, he's good at performance, mimicry, stuff like that. Just like Saturday Night Live kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's a lot different than what Jay Leno brought to the table, which was funny, but also like, you know, serious in a way. He talked a lot about.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see, like tonight, obviously his monologue, or last night, his monologue was a lot about the Olympics, just
It was
because.
all Olympics.
Yeah, it was all
Which
Olympics.
was pretty funny.
It was entertaining.
I
The,
like
the
the,
yearbook,
Yeah.
that was funny. But it will be interesting to see where he goes after that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, NBC is all about the Olympics right now.
Yeah, I mean, they probably are making him
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
it.
But you're right, because there's a certain audience that's been watching, and I doubt, like, just because the host changed.
Yeah, I mean, they're still going to stay up and watch, but I just wonder, like, if he's going to continue with the ratings, if he's going to, maybe he'll get a whole new spectrum of viewers
Yeah.
that they didn't have before. With
You said he had 11 million last night?
11 million.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
That's a considerable amount.
I think the primetime news on all three major networks only garner like 22 million
Yeah.
a day. So
Yeah.
that's a very impressive
I mean,
audience.
People were watching last night, so it'd be cool to see like a younger crowd getting interested in late night, because it's kind of been like it's been around forever, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and that's something else worth, not just that there's a new host, but that it's been in New York.
that's true.
It's back at 30 Rock,
Yeah.
30 Rockefeller Center, which is kind of, I think that's
Set's
fun
nice.
too.
Did you like the set?
I thought it was beautiful. I was very impressed with the set.
I thought it
yeah.
was so cute that he was like thanking the set designer.
Right?
Aw.
Although, if you see the set, and you should see it here in a minute, it was very pretty. I was impressed. And because it's a very like smallest area, being in it's the city, but it was very beautiful.
Yeah.
I just was very impressed. I wasn't sure, because I've like seen the late night with him, but wasn't sure how he was going to transfer over.
Right.
Now I'm excited for Seth Meyer at late night too, because
Yeah.
I love his
That'll be
weekend
good.
updates. You know,
Yeah.
from Saturday Night Live. But I don't think he started last night.
No, he starts next week, I think.
Is it next? So they're giving him a delay.
They give him a week, yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
that'll be fun to see.
Fred Armisen is going to be in the house band,
Really?
which is funny.
His that reminds me, Fallon's band is from Philadelphia. I thought that was a
Are they?
strange. Yeah, he mentioned that. I thought that was very interesting.
Oh, are those like people that he brought in, you think?
I'm not sure. I don't recall that exactly.
Cool.
It was very good. I thought it was just overall. And he thanked his mom and dad who were in the audience.
Yes.
That was fun. And his dad complained made a
The
little
seats.
joke. Yeah.
Couldn't give us better seats.
Yeah. It was very good. Should we wrap up a little early today? We got started a little late, so
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Their meeting.
yeah, our meeting's getting ready to start. If you want to watch late night, I feel like I'm about to be a plug for Hulu Plus. It is on Hulu Plus, and I recommend watching it. I thought it was big fun to watch, and just kind of a nice way to maybe give you a boost in the middle of the week. This will be up probably late Wednesday afternoon or early Thursday morning, depending on how the schedules work with us this week. Don't forget our website's launching on Friday with a brand new homepage, a brand new video, what do we call it? Program, new video program that we've never done before and that we're not really going to tell you about. It's just going to be an exciting new thing. I'll give you a quick tease. It's just 90 seconds, and we're going to do it on a weekly basis. It'll be up every Friday. So tune in on Friday and check that out. Thanks.
See ya.